gentlemen, the Chicago Bulls welcome the world's greatest fans to the United Center. Today's Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals is between the Orlando Magic and your Chicago Bulls. Now let's meet this afternoon's starting lineups. First for the visiting Orlando Magic. At one forward, from Georgia Tech, 6'8", Dennis Scott. At the other forward, 6'10", out of Clemson, Horace Grant. At center, 7'1", from Louisiana State, Shaquille O'Neal. At one guard, 6'6", from Illinois, Nick Anderson. And the other guard from Memphis State, 6'7", Anthony Hardaway. The Orlando Magic are coached by Brian Hill.
What better setting could you ask for? The Magic, who eliminated Chicago 1 year ago, the Bulls looking for a little revenge. We have the sidelines well covered today. Let's start with Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Greg. Here in Chicago, Michael Jordan and I have a little ritual we go to. We always ride to the games together. And this morning, I noticed a very difference in his attitude. It was different from last year at this time. And I asked him about that. He said, well, last year, he did not have the confidence that he had had before. He had the motivation, but he didn't feel like his physical skills were there. He said it's been a year later. He is confident. His physical skills are back. And he has one other plus. He said he feels like he has the edge that he had when Chicago won those 3 championships. One other injury update. Tony Kukoc, who's been out with a sprained back, will play today, although he will wear a back brace on his back just to keep it warm. Now for the Orlando side, let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Ahmad. Well, I spoke extensively with Shaquille O'Neal, and he told me the problem with his heart racing last week was all stress-related. He told me that he was stressed out about a number of personal things. First of all, these playoffs and trying to win a championship, as well as his grandmother passing away. Well, he said now he's just trying to relax and chill out, were his words, and that he is feeling much, much better and is not concerned at all about his heart. One other concern, however, for the Orlando Magic, and that has to do with Horace Grant. He hurt his right elbow in the second half of the 5th game against Atlanta. Now, he didn't score in that second half. He cannot extend his right arm, and it is giving him a problem with his shooting touch. Now, he has been icing it all week. He did not tell the training staff or the coaching staff because he did not want them to take him out of the game and lose time in this series, but it could be a big problem for him offensively, Greg.
All right, Jim Gray, as we get set for the opening tip, let's talk about what we expect in this game. Matt?
Well, Greg, Chicago wants to do what they do best, and that's play defense and create offense from that defense, get as many fast break baskets as they can, and they also want to get second shot opportunities behind Dennis Rodman, who does it so well. But the Magic big people also can do a very good job on the boards, and they also want to keep Dennis Scott and Nick Anderson from getting off beyond the three-point line.
Bill Walton.
Orlando has to play strict man-to-man defense to cut down on offensive rebound opportunities for Chicago. Their front court bench has to do something. Penny has to believe he can beat Michael Jordan, and then Shaq's got to play with such rage. He's got to make the Chicago front court want to quit the sport of basketball.
The number one offense in the postseason. Orlando, 105 points a game. Chicago with the number one defense in the playoffs, yielding just 86.1 in the opening tap to Penny Hardaway and the Magic. The officials, Hugh Evans, Ron Garretson, Bennett Salvatore.
Terrific denying defense by Jordan on the wing.
Shaquille O'Neal. The Bulls did not double team.
Right off the bat, and that's been the big question for the last couple of days in the preparation for Chicago, how they would defend Shaq.
Jordan back outside to Pippen on the run. Too hard. Longley.
When you gamble defensively, that allows Chicago to have open lanes to the offensive glass. Shaq, a weak effort on Scotty's runner in the lane, and nobody boxed off Longley.
Longley trying O'Neal, steps in for the steal. Longley to the hook.
Longley's got a good offensive game. And when you have the attitude in your mind that, hey, Shaq's going to get his at one end, but you've got to come back and attack. If you just think you're going to be a fouler out there, you have no chance. Get it back on the offensive end.
Matt Goop has talked about the Scottie Pippen-Penny Hardaway matchup early on, and Pippen picked him up full court.
Scotty told us he wants to take him out of his comfort zone, and that's where it is right now, down on that left block.
Tapped out of bounds.
Well, Luke Longley coming off a very poor series against New York, where he had actually more personal fouls. And then the rebound.
Terrible start for Orlando.
Scottie Pippen. 6-0 Bulls. Nick Anderson back in a hurry. And picked off by Longley. Rodman leaves it for Harper, who goes down the lane for Rodman. And he'll go to the line.
Dennis Rodman gave the ball up early to a guard in the midcourt area, got down to the baseline, spaced the floor beautifully, and everything possibly going wrong for Orlando has already gone wrong. Not a good look anywhere offensively. No establishing themselves at the basket area.
Bulls have jumped to a 9-point lead. Jordan taps it out of bounds.
Well, we see the defensive strategy, at least as far as the wing players are concerned. Michael Jordan trying to deny the ball to Nick Anderson at every opportunity, because that's where many of the entry passes go to Shaq.
9:50 to play, first quarter. Horace Grant at the free throw line comes up short, and Rodman with the rebound, and the Magic still scoreless.
Again, that's not Horace's game.
Longley and Pippen on the offensive glass, fouled by O'Neal.
Well, the biggest fear for Orlando is getting this crowd involved, and that's what the Bulls are doing right now with their aggressive defense, pushing the ball down the floor, getting after second shots, and just going right in the face of Orlando, and the crowd is involved. Brian Hill's biggest fear.
10 straight points for the Bulls.
Orlando has to come right back with their strength, with their game plan, and that's Shaq. He touched the ball the first play and missed. Just because he missed his first shot, you got to give him 30 looks all day long.
An unusual situation for the Magic in that they have never before opened a playoff series on the road. And a 20-second timeout now. They've out-rebounded the Magic 6-1. Orlando 0 for 4 from the floor. It's a 10-0 Bulls lead.
The way that Chicago is playing with such energy and enthusiasm and intensity shows the respect they have for Orlando.
Another rebound for Rodman, and the Bulls on the run again. Harper back outside and stolen by Scott.
It's the first good play of the game for Orlando, and it comes 3 minutes in.
Looks like Orlando cannot settle in on what they want to do offensively. This is what they normally do as far as they'd like to get the ball to Shaq, but he just vacated the post there.